Bonne année, bonne santé. Welcome to a new year at Chateau Marinery. Hopefully this one will be as interesting as the last 2 years.
So we're in the dining room, we're trying to decide what to do in that area and how high to go with it. So there's a bit of wallpaper missing below that, behind that. So that's been filled in as a temporary measure. And now we're thinking about covering it up permanently with a bit of artwork. So that's the only gap we have in this very old wallpaper. So we need to do something. So it's either going to go to the moulding on the ceiling or it's going to go to the height of the doors. And possibly both sides, just so that it's got a bit of balance in the room. Good hardboard holding. I'm in the dining room. We're getting it ready for when we do a Burns night in a couple of weeks' time. So what I've done is made some tablecloths out of tartan fabric. So this is all made from quilts that I bought from a charity shop before we left the UK. And what I'm looking at today is whether we can actually make something arty to go up this area of wall. Our problem here is I stripped the first layer of wallpaper off to show this really old wallpaper, which is lovely and has a border top and bottom. And this piece was very, very damaged. So that's been stripped off. That's just a lining paper that I've painted sort of to tone in with the rest, but it's very obviously a damaged area. So this is all the wallpapers that are on the wall. So the blue and white one is the one we stripped off. This is the one that's on there now. And there were various ones underneath going back to the original one, which would be 1860. So that's nice history of the wallpaper in here, but I don't like this modern bit of paint down the wall there. And we're just thinking of a piece of artwork to put up there to cover that area. And the idea we've come up with is to use one of the violin books. So we have 2 violin books here that were found upstairs. And they haven't got dates as such, but this one cost, there we go, 22 francs 50 for part 1 and 35 francs for the second part. You could buy the 2 together for 50 francs. But this one is older because it's 9 francs for part 1, 14 for part 2 and 20 francs for a complete set. So we're going to use one of these, the newer one, to go up through there and hide that portion of blank wall. The dining room floor has lost a bit of height at this section, so Mark's just filled that in with some wood so nobody stubs their toe on the way through. We'll be staining that to match the rest of the floor. So at some point we've got to take all these floorboards up and see what the problem is underneath. Renew some beams down there, I think. So I've cut out the shape of the helmets, so they're going to be a scalloped shape at the top. I've got 2, one for either end of the hall, so front and back door helmets. And if I lay this out, you can just see the shape I've gone for. A nice scalloped, and then this is the braid that's going to go on at the tassel fringe. I've matched all the fabric in. That took the most time yesterday, just getting the pattern to all meet up. So that's the lining cut for them. the advantage of having big floors. Mark's made another palmet for upstairs, so this one will go on the landing. So we're just finishing off jobs that we didn't get done when we were rushing to do things ready for the filming company, so that just needs a palmet up there. That has a narrow one at the moment, but we're going to put the larger one on as soon as I've sewn them. And that one will also have a large palmet.
So there's the finished article. That just finishes that top off nicely. This one's the one on the back door. So a matching pair.
Nice being back to doing things after being ill.
Yes, it's been a bit of a few days, hasn't it? Or a couple of weeks, but it's good to be back. Just doing the pelmet for the top of the stairs for the landing. It's a bit of a wedge-shaped one to follow the contours of the ceiling, but fairly basic. But I'll just tidy it up. There we go, that's the finished article. All fitted up. Just makes the top look a little tidier. Job done.